Let's talk about forgiveness. Have you ever experienced an anger in yourself where you just don't want to let the other person off the hook? So you're doing your forgiveness exercises because you're really noble and you're trying to grow, but there's somebody who comes into your vision and you go, I do not want to let that person off the hook. I do not want to forgive that person. What do you do then? It's quite amazing, actually. If you stay with it long enough, you'll probably get the giggles. Because here's the other thing about it, is if we stay in an anger with somebody over a long period of time, guess what? We pay. It costs us a lot. It costs us peace of mind. That person, without even knowing it, is renting a huge space in our heart. And that part of your heart is cold, which means that you can't put that love. Remember, love is a really interesting thing because it's a beingness. It's not a doingness. And most of us have had to learn, some people are just born this way, but most of us have had to learn how to open up to love, to drop conditions and drop defenses and so on. So I notice if I'm really angry with someone and I don't want to let that go, because that happens to a lot of people, not just me. You want to go, I want them to know what I'm thinking. I want them to know how mad I am, or how they hurt me, or how they screwed up my car, or whatever, you know. And it's just really, really hard to get into that place inside that doesn't want to let that go. But really helps if you get inside yourself and start to list all the ways that you're paying for that person's storage in your heart and soul. It's really interesting, and you and I know also that you can die, and when you're reborn, you can be hauling along that same person. And you won't recognize their face maybe, but you'll sure recognize the energy when you meet them again, and then you have some kind of a row. A lot of times siblings have that kind of energy, where someone is born into a family where someone's mad at them from the very get-go. I've seen it over and over and over again. And it's really interesting. There's no way to logically or rationally explain what that person did that was wrong. It isn't rational. It's that person just is automatically enraged at you. Usually if it's karma like that or cellular like that, the person can't figure out where it came from. Then you might go through a whole bunch of expeditions through your past lives and so on, and perhaps you will discover it. But many of the time, we discover that it helps so much to go in there, recognize that it's of a different time and place, it's of a soul bondage, meaning something that might have happened 3 or 4 lifetimes ago, or even throughout 3 or 4 lifetimes. It almost doesn't matter. What matters is if you can feel the pull at such a deep soul level, and you'll know what I mean. You'll even see it in the way your face is constructed. And then you start working on that. Call it up. Feel it. Command total release. Call it up. Call in your guides and angels for support. Help! Look what I'm doing with this. That's one of my favorite prayers. Help me undo this. I don't want to live and die and be born into the same kind of hookup with people. I want to evolve just like you do. So many of us really do. So if you're angry with someone and you find it's a relentless anger, or someone's very angry with you and it's a relentless anger, I promise you, you'll feel a whole lot better if you'll spend the time sitting with that attachment to that person and whatever happened wrong. If you can sit into it and command total release of it with the help of your guides and angels, swish it with light over and over. Notice where it is in your body. That's the other part that's very important. In the case of one I'm thinking of, it hits me right here at the stomach area. So you pay attention to where it is in your body, and that can help you understand where the threat was between you and that person. And over, if you say, I don't want to let that person off the hook, Tease yourself. Bring up a mirror and say, it's me that I want to let off the hook. Now, they're almost incidental to that, aren't they? And when you allow that person to be off your hook, you're actually freeing yourself to grow and expand and to feel this incredible love that you're going to be being. If you try that out, I'd love some feedback from you. Are you finding it easy? Is it hard? And I know you're going to be successful. Do let me know.